Okay, so let's get started. Hello, everyone. This is episode 2 of our D&D special. Joining us again today is the party. Why don't we introduce ourselves? I am the DM, Chase.
Okay, so I'm Amy, and my character is Dare, a tiefling rogue.
I'm Anima, my character is John, a human barbarian.
I'm Ash, my character is Marek, the halfling sorcerer.
I'm Cell, and I am the lizard folk cleric.
Okay, so let's recap what happened yesterday. Not yesterday. Well, no, it was technically for your characters, it was like, what, 30 minutes ago?
Yes, it should, right?
So let's recap what happened in the last 30 minutes for your characters. So you were at the Yawning Portal, and while you're at the Yawning Portal, you witnessed a bit of a bar fight between two individuals, and one of them appeared to be part of some sort of gang. So after the bar fight, a troll just kind of decides to come out of the hole in the middle of the tavern that leads into Undermountain. And so you help the barkeep fight it and kill it. And if I remember correctly, one of you harvested its bones and possibly other body parts.
It was tasty.
So that happened. I do believe it wasn't socially acceptable, but no one stopped you.
Indeed.
And after the fight, after seeing that you guys took down a troll, you were introduced to Volo, also known as the writer for Volo's Guide to Monsters. And he's asked you all to do a favor for him, and that's find his friend Floon, who has gone missing. You were given a few details as to where he was. If I am not mistaken, he mentioned the Skewered Dragon Inn, but you also mentioned that they were traveling around the dock ward. And let's actually take you guys to the map of Waterdeep so we can have a bit of a better look at where exactly this campaign is taking place. And I'm actually gonna drag you guys over to where you are right now. Let's see if this works.
Oh, something.
Yep.
Yes. Little yawning portal. Nice.
So that's where we are right now, or you guys in this sense. I'm the DM, so I guess I'm everywhere. And if we go a little south, you'll see the dock ward. And so this entire area is somewhat the dock wards. I think the Yawning Portal kinda is at the border between the dock ward and the trades ward. That in mind, so let's kind of theater of the mind it for the moment here. So technically you're all still at the Yawning Portal. You were just given this quest by Volo, except to Bone Carver, because he was busy carving bones.
Carving bones.
As you do. So you might have to fill him in on the details, but you have some information. You know that they last saw Floon at the Skewered Dragon Inn, and also that people of the dock ward might have seen something. So what do you do?
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where's the inn actually?
Yeah, I was trying to work that out.
You do not know.
I
You will have to.
got
Okay,
teleported.
so we'll have to ask around.
Yeah.
Oh, that in.
I think it's
Yes.
not an... Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think it's an inn. I think it's just a tavern. The Skewered Dragon Tavern. Let me check. For now, we'll just call it the Skewered Dragon. Because we don't know if this is an inn or a tavern.
Is it on the way of the dragon?
I wondered that.
Yeah.
Probably. Very likely. Most very likely. Though there are a lot of streets that intersect between it, so you might have to ask around in the dock ward just to get an exact location.
Well, I guess since we have to go to the dock ward anyway, we could go to the dock ward, and then while we're asking around about Floon, we could also ask around about the Skewered Dragon.
As my character actually lives and works in this city, do I know where it is?
Make roll a straight intelligence check.
Hey, that's not bad.
You have heard of it. You do not know the exact location, but you do know it's on the southern end of the Way of the Dragon.
Oh, look at that. We have a place to start.
Well, I think we should head in that direction and possibly pick up clues on the way.
What does the rest of the
Yeah.
party think?
I'm up
Okay.
for an evening stroll.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Mine basically just follows. Nibbling on the sturge as he goes.
Still picking bits out your teeth.
No, I remember I had this one sturge given to me that was killed by one of you guys?
Yep, by Dare, if I'm not mistaken.
Quite possibly.
On the way, you're traveling down. So let me just see what the most logical street you're traveling down. I think you're going down Snail Street, right here.
Are there any snails?
You do see the Snail Bakery. It's basically a bakery with just a big snail on the sign. I think they're just going along with the street. I'm not entirely sure why it's called Snail Street, but we can make up a story for that.
Slow progress.
Probably. There is a bit of traffic. There was a wagon accident, and people are having trouble just going around it. Okay, so as you're traveling down Snail Street, you find yourselves on a street that it's been cordoned off by the City Watch. Lying on the cobblestone are half a dozen corpses, seemingly the victims of some terrible skirmish. Watch officers have disarmed and arrested the blood-drenched humans in the midst of questioning witnesses. One of the officers kind of notices you all just staring, and they kind of motion you to move along. Nothing to see here.
Can I see what race the corpses were?
Make a perception check.
Oh, not a terrible score, I guess. What do I roll? Wow!
Like,
I see corpses.
you're interested in the situation, but the sturge in your mouth is just so delicious. It's just distracting
While I'm
you.
eating the sturge, I'm just lamenting the fact that those corpses will go to waste.
Yeah, that's mostly what you're focusing on. You don't really notice.
And I'm saying this to
anything.
whoever's closest to me.
If any of you have a reply for that statement, just feel free to chime in.
What was the last statement? I didn't catch it.
That I am lamenting that those corpses will go to waste.
Bone Carver, one word of advice. Don't go consuming humans.
Yes, more people tell me that. So weird.
Or humanoids in general, at least when people are watching.
But they're so tasty.
Dare
I
is
am not
miming
going
being
to
sick
ask
into
how
the
you know
gutter.
that. I am not going to ask how you know that.
Would anyone else like to make a perception check?
Yes,
Okay, go for it.
Do I need to
Find it.
lift you?
probably.
I should have lifted you.
You can tell they're humanoid off the corner of your eye. You're not entirely sure, but you think you might see another one or several of these people are bald and they have marks around their head.
Is that like the same gang we saw in the Yawning Portal?
It's very possible.
just
With that
trying to
roll, you're
remember
not
that.
certain though.
Well, I can't see much. So,
Actually, Dare, make a history check.
Okay.
Okay, you know everything. So, you've been keeping up with your contacts you have around the city. Your not so legal contacts that give you information every so often about the goings-ons of the city. And you know that the two gangs, the Zentarim and the Xanathar Guild, have been at each other's throats for a while now. And this is mostly an assumption on your part, but you believe it to be an educated assumption that this is just another one of their skirmishes. And let me actually pull some more information about the Zentarim and the Xanathar Guild for you, since you rolled so high.
Very good.
You know that anyone can join the Xanathar Guild, which, despite its name, doesn't have an official guild status in Waterdeep. It is more kind of like, think of the Waterdeep version of a mafia, and the mob boss is the Xanathar. I think I've mentioned this before, but you know him to be a beholder. And you know that those of the Xanathar Guild tend to walk around with monstrous bodyguards. By monstrous, it's mostly races that aren't really common, and they're more animalistic in nature. So, bugbears, kenku. On rare occasions, you have heard that were creatures are sometimes the bodyguards.
Okay.
Do you share all of it?
Yes.
Because if so, John will pitch in like, that reminds me of a story about how I fought off a werewolf.
Bonegorf just says, "Werewolves, can I eat those?"
I'm pretty sure you can.
No. I'm pretty sure if they're human half of the time or humanoid half of the time, you're not allowed to eat.
I mean, you can.
Jesus.
Whether or not you should is a different question. And as for the Zentarum, you don't know too much about them, but you know they have just as open as a recruitment policy as the Xanathar Guild. They don't tend to have the most loyal characters in them, and it is a bit of a fractured organization, but you do know that they despise the Xanathar Guild, and they are trying to seize the power the Xanathar Guild has.
And are the Zentarum a proper guild, or are they also mafia, basically?
It's more of a gang.
Okay.
Some people call it more of a black network. And like I said, it's fractured, so there are different offshoots of it. And that's all you know for the time being of these faction wars.
Is this a clue to the quest we're doing, or?
I think that's for us to figure out.
Yeah, you're kind of supposed to figure that out. At the moment, this is mostly just something irrelevant to your current task.
Just flavor.
Yeah. This stuff's happening around. You might or might not be involved in it later on, who knows? We're in the dock ward proper. So as you're entering the dock ward, you notice that tall, densely packed tenements leave most of the neighborhood in shadow at ground level. Most of the street lamps have had their glasses smashed and their candles stolen, and the smells of salt air and excrement linger as you pass by rows of rundown buildings. So not a nice place.
My character doesn't mind too much. He was literally born in a swamp.
So,
Yeah, John has been living here for a couple of months now, so yeah, home, I guess.
yeah.
I'm just going to stick close to John. It sounds safe. And I won't be seen there.
It's my choice.
At this moment, we are going to start our investigation, and it's pretty straightforward. We just have to roll investigation checks, and I'll give you information based on what you roll. So how you roll will depend on whether or not everyone wants to make an individual investigation check, or if someone wants to assist another person making an investigation check. And so we could make 2 rolls at advantage, or everyone roll individually.
I'm going to assist because my investigation is -1.
Okay. Who would you like
Well,
to assist?
I'm going to assist the halfling because my character probably believes he needs it the most. Whether or not that's true.
I'll take the ground level. You look up high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think John can assist Merrick maybe, because John knows his way around here, but he's not very good at investigating.
Well, you can't double assist someone, so Merrick's already being assisted by
Okay, good point.
Bone Carver.
Dare then.
Okay.
If Dare's investigating.
So Dare and Merrick roll an investigation check at advantage. Okay, those were
Wow.
all right, I guess.
Well, for
No, they weren't,
advantage
don't
rolls.
lie.
For advantage rolls.
They're not horrible. Okay, so you've been asking around. You've been given Floon's description and you've been giving it to people. Some people did recall someone fitting that description, though they do mention that there was a much more handsome man with him, and they kind of remember him more than they actually do Floon, along with another man who they think might have been Volo, but it was late, and so what would Volo be doing in this shithole part of town? Just doesn't fit up to them. But they did give you a general direction of where the Skewered Dragon is. They mentioned that it is down Zastro Street, which is right here.
I see it.
And they mentioned to go from Zastro Street to Fillet Lane down the Way of the Dragon, and if you meet Net Street, you've gone too far.
Were all 3 of these men seen together, or was Floon seen with Volo and this other man separately?
It's a bit of a mix, and through piecing together the information, you were able to deduce that they were together earlier in the day, but later in the day they appear to have separated, or at least Volo, one of them, appears to have separated from the group.
Okay, because Volo didn't mention anyone else.
It is true. This is a detail Volo either forgot to mention to you, or the DM forgot to mention to you. Okay, so you know to go down Zastro Street, or around that general area. Where will you head from here?
I say we head towards the Skewered Dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never pass up the opportunity
Yeah.
to go to another tavern.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're going down Zastro Street. As you're going down and as you're meeting up into the corner of Fillet Lane, right in that corner, you notice a shop with a peculiar window display. So one nearby shop stands out from the others. It has a deep purple facade, and in its windows hangs a stuffed beholder. and above the door hangs a sign whose elaborate letters spell out Old Zoblob Shop. I had to rehearse that several times to figure out how exactly I was going to say that. Should you choose, you can investigate this peculiar shop or go on your way.
I'd like to have a look in.
Is it open?
Yes, it's open. There's a little open
let's have
sign.
a look in.
What's the time of day?
Well, I'd say it's around noon-ish.
Because it kind of implied it was night before, with the streetlights being off. Or is that just because it's so dark anyway?
With the description, it was that the street lights were broken and the candles in them have been stolen.
Oh, Nick's candles.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, so
John just stares at the display window and is like, I think I might have killed one of these people.
you've killed a stuffed beholder before?
Something that looked like that, at least. I'm pretty sure. Lots of eyes, yeah.
Let me see if I have a picture of a beholder. Just so everyone knows what a beholder looks like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. When I was out at sea, I'm pretty sure I did.
At
I
sea.
think that was an octopus.
At sea. Someone roll history at the mention of at sea.
Oh, I'll do that. What's my history? Oh, my history's really bad. Hey!
Yeah, we can tell. Really bad, huh?
Oh, look at that!
Oh, you know for a fact that beholders are not sea creatures. They are creatures from the deep underdark.
I relay this information, squinting at the human.
Well,
Oh, look at that.
There we go.
That's a zombie, though. But, yeah.
That's a beholder zombie, not an actual living beholder, but that's what I could get in short notice.
Okay, so you get a lot of those at sea, do you? Do they have their own ships?
no, of course not. They live in the sea.
No, they do not.
Yes, they do.
They live underground.
Nearly sunk my boat. Pulled one up with my net, nearly sunk my boat. I know what I killed.
Do you know how big they are?
It was huge.
No, they are not.
Also, with that history check, you also know that beholders are incredibly intelligent. Their eye stalks, each one shoots a beam of magic, each one doing something different. And you know that one disintegrates things, another one petrifies things, and another one puts you into like a paralyzed state of fear. You do know that they have more, but beyond that, you're uncertain.
So do you also relay that?
Yes, and it could have outsmarted you if it hadn't even tried.
It didn't outsmart my spear.
I'm sure it didn't. I know what I shall call you. Tall Tales.
Dare, as you're having this discussion like at the window of the shop, you do notice that you see purple smoke trails scented of lavender coming out from the entrance.
Okay, well, I'm on my way inside anyway.
Okay.
This looks like an interesting establishment.
So as you go inside, every wall is painted purple, and every dusty knickknack on the shelves is dyed a deep violet. And the hairless old gnome sitting cross-legged on the counter wears plum-colored robes. His cheeks are decorated with 9 purple face-painted eyes. And the gnome lowers a pipe and exhales a cloud of lavender smoke before raising a hand. Hail, and well met. Come browse the shelves of the most curious curiosities in this world. And he gestures at the counter.
Okay, let's have a look at this counter then.
Okay, how interested are you in random knickknacks and trinkets?
I'd say fairly interested.
Okay, so let me just check real quick what sort of things he
Ooh,
has.
shiny things.
By the way, by this point, I have sneaked my way in.
I just followed Darren because I was leaving the other two to argue outside.
By now, I'm just leaning over their shoulder, just looking at the counter.
So you see a few things. A small wooden statuette of a smug halfling. You find a vial of dragon blood. There's a little label that says dragon blood on it. It looks like it's coagulated and it looks like it's been there a while. So you're not really sure if it's actual blood or genuine dragon blood. And a rectangular metal device with 2 tiny metal cups on one end that throws sparks when wet. And that's all on the label for it. Those are the 3 things you notice immediately. You do see a mess of other things, but you also notice that on the labels, all of them sell for 5 gold pieces each.
That's a bit steep. Can I ask was it a gnome?
It's a deep gnome.
Okay, can I ask him more about the rectangular metal device?
He looks at the device. Is like, oh yes, this. It's it's a thing the dwarves made, and they call it a toaster.
A toaster?
Yes, it's meant to gently toast a slice of bread, so that you can easily spread butter over it on your on a breakfast morning.
Does it have any other uses?
You can throw it in a bathtub when someone's inside and kill them with it.
Well, that's very interesting, but it doesn't sound terribly useful.
Oh,
Let's
well.
have a look at the wooden statuette. I think this looks
Well-
a bit like Marek.
Roll a perception check. It kind of looks like Merrick. It looks like maybe a more smug Merrick.
Marek, have you been modelling for wood carvers recently?
Not recently.
Not recently. You do notice that the statue has a minimal amount of clothing.
And by minimal, you mean...
It has like a little leaf there for modesty. So whoever was modeling for the statuette was very sure of their physical appearance, and the carver was very talented.
Yeah, it's not me.
So John's in the shop now as well, and he's like, he heard the description of the metal device, and he's just eyeing it, and then he just says, isn't that thing really dangerous? If you drop that into the sea, wouldn't you electrocute like every creature in the sea?
Including those beholders.
Yes.
The shopkeeper kind of just glances at you with, he's perplexed, and then you can kind of see, actually, someone roll insight. Someone that isn't John, roll insight. Okay.
I will.
So, Bone Carver, you kind of notice that there's like gears in his head turning. Not literally, like metaphorically. And he says, do you want it to kill everything in the sea?
Of course not. I'm a fisherman. I fish for a living. I don't want to kill all the fish.
Oh, then it does not
Not
do
at
that.
once.
It only... it will... It only goes in a... And then he, like, you notice him open his palm and, like, he's mumbling something under his breath. A 10-foot radius.
No, well, could be useful.
Yes, it is very useful for fishing. Only 5 gold pieces.
Bogov just plants the 5 gold pieces on the counter. He just wants to see where this is going.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay. So subtract 5 gold pieces from your inventory, whoever paid for it,
I
and
did.
add a quote unquote toaster to your inventory. And as for what will happen if you throw it into water, we'll find out, I guess.
This is a really interesting shop. What did you say the name was, shopkeeper?
Oh, this is the old Zablob shop.
Oh,
What's
stop,
with the
stop.
toy? The beholder one.
Oh, that's just a, well, it's a, how do you call it? It's not like a statue. It's more like a stuffed recreation. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, it's, of the old owner of this place, old Zablob. I am also named Zablob, but there is no relation, don't worry. You see, it's a long story. I tried to rename, but everyone already knew it as the old Zablob shop. So, I decided to just go with the flow, you know?
Very enterprising.
It has proven quite lucrative.
Can I have a look at the vial of dragon blood before we leave?
Okay, roll a perception check. Actually, roll Arcana. Okay. You know nothing about the magical properties of dragon blood.
Oh,
I will also have a look at the dragon's blood.
Okay, roll Arcana. You know that dragon's blood could be used in maybe some magical concoctions. You know that dragons are innately magical, so at the very least you might be able to take it to someone that could craft something of note for you, but what exactly will depend on the color of the dragon and the freshness of the blood. and you can
Can I tell if it actually is dragon blood?
not without the proper tools. Roll medicine.
I could taste it.
I did not roll well.
You're not entirely sure how long it takes for blood to go bad, but you can kind of see that it looks kind of chunky.
Aw.
Can I take a medicine check?
Go for it. The blood has gone bad. You doubt it would be good for many things.
I relay this.
Yeah, I won't buy
Just
it.
loudly, where the shopkeeper knows as well.
But
John just sighs in relief.
that's
Well, I
that's
think
just
you're
the
not going
properties
to
of a
drink
green
that.
dragon. Yes. You see, the blood gets all chunky when you take it out of the body for too long.
This I know.
By the way, none of you have been checking if he's been lying to you.
I just kind of assumed he was. The same way I had to sell it.
Likewise. I did one inside check and like that.
Oh yeah, I just noticed the insight check there. As for that 12 on insight, you have a feeling he's kind of stretching the truth a bit.
Yeah. Figure.
Stretching it like taffy. Okay.
Can we ask him if he's seen Volo? If he's been this way?
Do
Is that
you...
who we're after?
You're
Floon.
looking for Floon.
Floon, yes.
You give him
Um,
the description, and he says, I think I saw someone that description, but I don't know if it's safe to tell you.
We've just bought a toaster from you, of all things. I really think you could afford a little more information.
Roll a persuasion at advantage. Okay. Well, I do recall seeing... Who was this man again? Floon?
Floon.
Okay, he was with a well-dressed fellow, a handsome man. I might have... He looked familiar, but I'm not sure. But as for the person you're looking for, I did see them coming past my shop and down the street, and I do believe they were jumped by... I'm not sure who. Just some individuals clad in black. It was pretty late out, and as you can see, the lamps are, and he points at the ones that don't have candles in them, not very reliable.
Do I believe him?
As far as
9 on insight.
as far as you can tell, he's telling the truth.
And which direction did you see this in?
It was mostly down the street, and he points like in this general direction. But I did see them run off with both of them. Actually, now that I think about it, there was one thing I noticed on one of them, because you see, one of them stopped by my shop, and then when they noticed the person, they ran off. He kind of leans in, and he's kind of like looking out the window to make sure no one's listening in. He had a winged snake on his neck. I'm sure you know what those type of people are. And Dare, you actually do know who these type of people are. This is the symbol associated with the Zentarum.
Okay, I'll tell the rest of the group that.
And that's all I know, I swear. Okay, so what do you do with this information?
Well, has everyone finished shopping?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I want that statue.
I don't think anyone wants that statue.
Okay.
In which case, I would like to thank the gnome for his help. And let's go outside and have a look around.
Anytime.
Yeah, I think we should start working towards the inn.
Okay.
I'm keen to get to the inn.
Can we have a look in the street, sort of roughly where the gnome pointed that this fight took place?
You can. You go over to the place where you gestured. Go ahead and roll an investigation. Okay, so you notice something just slightly off. You probably wouldn't have caught it had you not known about that this is the area where the actual incident took place. But you do just see a tiny little droplet of blood land and dry up on one of the rocks. You do see a few scrapes on the wall, on a nearby wall. But beyond that, there doesn't appear to be much evidence.
Okay.
And look at the blood to see if it's correlating with how long it's been there.
Well, it was been there since last night and it's dried up. It's not a lot, it's just like a tiny droplet.
It's not much to glean from that.
So we
Not without my
we can
DNA sampling
assume
kit.
the gnome is telling the truth, at least.
At least on that. On the
Yeah,
toaster, you don't know.
concern his wares.
Okay, so are you gonna make your way over to the skewered dragon now?
I think so.
Okay, so you go down Fillet Lane and down the Way of the Dragon. You notice an alley that runs between Net Street and Fillet Lane. As you approach it, you find the inn, and the Skewered Dragon Inn, let's just say it's an inn now, because I can't. It's already ingrained in my brain. It looks to be in ruin. Both of its front-facing windows are smashed, and a ship's anchor is lodged in the roof somehow. Through the windows, you can see a group of haggard patrons drinking from huge tankards.
Oh, we found the pub, have we?
Yep.
I tap John's shoulder and gesture to Anchor. Tales, is this your doing? With just a smirk.
Does John
So
reply?
you're calling me Tall Tales now?
Yes, it's a name that makes sense.
John is much.
I don't get your name thingies.
But I did miss the rest of the comment.
What's the anchor you're doing?
There's
Lodged in the roof.
There's a big anchor lodged on the roof of the Skewered Dragon.
So looking at the anchor. No, I don't throw anchors around all day.
Just behold this then.
I did once actually throw an anchor at a unicorn whale. Now that's a story I would like to tell you because that's actually interesting.
I'm gonna
Anchors
need a
on
drink
land,
for this.
not so much.
I assume Dare is already walking into the
Yes.
tavern.
Marek's already at the bar.
Okay.
Well, we'll need an ale anyway for this story, so
Okay, so you're at the bar. So, a mug of ale will set you back 4 copper pieces each.
Who's buying this round?
well, my story, my round.
Excellent.
Okay.
John is generous.
Subtract 4 copper, or 4 times 4 copper. Yep. Saved myself there. John, while you're telling the story, you notice the bartender. She kind of looks at you. She believes you. And she's like, wow,
The poor sword.
that's quite the story. I don't know what
Yes, and
story you
there's
just
many
said,
more where
but
that
she
came
believed it. And then she's like, well, I got one for you, says the bartender. Last night, Volo came in. She's waiting for you to be like amazed at that information.
John is not amazed, and he's not pretending he's amazed.
We just look at her blankly
Mhm.
with a kind of and expression.
Mhm.
I'll be amazed.
Glad
I'm
to see
impressed.
glad to see someone reads good literature here. But yeah, Volo was here, and he was with. Let me check real quick how much he knows.
Literature. I don't read anything, lady. I can't read.
And he was with none other than Raynar Neverember. All of you roll history.
Can John just pass?
That's pretty much what I
No.
thought anyway.
What was his name?
Raynar, Raynair. I think that's how you say it. Neverember.
This is probably not going to be great. No, it's not.
Don't tell me John actually
No
rolled
one-
easily. No.
Yeah.
Well, John rolled a 12, but I don't want John to know this.
John is the only one that knows because he's been in Waterdeep the longest. You don't know a lot, but you know that the last name Neverember is the same last name as the Lord of Waterdeep. But you know that the Lord's name is not Raynair. Actually, make an intelligence check to see if you form the right conclusion based on this information. You think it's the Lord of Waterdeep. You think he was here chatting with Volo, sharing a drink with Floon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether
And
or
I
not you
share that
come,
information with the others.
and then the barkeep is just kind of looking at you weird, and she's like, "Oh my." It's like- and then she's like, "No, it's the Lord's son.
Well, close enough.
Well, the Lord's name is Dagult. Don't you know the name of your Lord?"
I cannot.
And then you see some of the surrounding patrons at the mention of Raynair. One of them like scoffs and he says, huh, "Rich noble who likes to rub our noses in it."
Clearly, they were here for the ambience.
Most likely. As the barkeep continues, she mentions that they stuck around for a few drinks. Then she noticed something weird, but then mentions, maybe I shouldn't tell you that part. We don't know who might be listening.
I stand. I don't know. Where was she standing relative to us?
She's in front of you. She's behind the counter.
I just sneakily, stealthily, just shove a gold coin towards it.
Roll a sleight of hand to see whether or not it's stealthy.
It's not stealthy.
You
Should have done it with your tail.
So the coin was like over the counter.
Like chips flying off the wood.
like she genuinely believes that you're openly just like bribing her without trying to make it seem subtle, and she's like, "Oh, okay." So these guys in black leather were kind of follow them out. Think they're one of those, and then she makes a gesture for the neck tattoo. Those kinds.
And do they drink in here often?
No, they've never seen them before.
Perhaps they knew they would be here.
Well, there are rumors about them. I've heard that, you see, there's this warehouse in Candle Lane. Some people have been saying that maybe that's where they've been staying for a while. But
I wonder if those candles aren't stolen.
and then she looks at you with like realization. Maybe that is where they took him. We haven't had light here for weeks.
If we find the candles, we'll see what we can do.
I'd appreciate it. There's a gold piece in it for you. And she pockets the gold piece you just gave.
And Bogarth actually chuckles at that, which is probably the first time any of you have heard him chuckle.
That was
That's
terrifying.
creeping me out.
You hear this very hoarse sound. It kind of sounds like when a dog's choking.
Fair enough.
You genuinely thought that he himself was choking.
I just offer you my ale.
And I just look confused.
Okay, so you have a location now. What would you like to do now?
This is Candle Lane for us.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm up for that.
let's go to Candle Lane.
Perhaps we should appreciate stealthily.
That is an option you can do.
Where is Candle?
I'm glad you
It's
said
not-
I
the,
was looking for it as well.
the
It's
bartender. And she points at a spot in your map, and we'll pretend that I have marked it on the map because I am having trouble finding it myself.
It's
Just
like
a little bit
literally
further
left to the
north.
Waved Dragon.
Oh, you found it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Give the name the Waved Dragons just to the left of that
Yeah.
weird wobbly road.
Okay, so you head over to Candle Lane then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
With the promise of bringing back the candles, you go to
I
Candle
Promise
Lane.
nothing. I said I see what I could do.
I'm not staying in
To
this
her,
pub on
it
my
was a
own.
promise.
Mhm.
As we walk away, I just holes and what's up with the anchor?
Oh, we had a Goliath in here once.
Ah, yes, I understand.
That's
And
it? That's the story?
Yep.
Have you ever seen a Goliath?
I have arm wrestled with one. Once.
This is Bone
They're
Guard
not all
just-
that, really.
He looks at you with this expression of just no, and for once he doesn't argue and just starts walking.
Onward to Candle Lane. So, we are heading to our first legitimate campaign map.
Ooh. So, are we going to approach in stealth, or one of us approach? Go ahead, or what?
I think we should definitely try stealth.
I could go stealthily.
Who of us is actually any good at stealth?
So, let me let you guys know how stealth, or how I'm calculating stealth, because there are official rules, but I prefer a different approach. So, what you guys can do is you can split up and roll individual stealth checks. Or if you're traveling as a group, you all roll a stealth check, and I average out that score. So it's up to you how you want to approach.
I'd be quite happy to go ahead and have a quick look around and report back.
Okay.
Likewise.
And I'll stick with her as backup.
Okay.
Well, I can do many things, but I can't really sneak around.
Okay. So relevant party members roll stealth checks.
Haha!
Whoa.
Whoa. Why did the rogue...
I don't know.
Oh, well, my stealth modifier is as high as the rogues.
Okay, so you think you're going stealthy? A dare. You are...
So just to be clear, are we all going, or are we just are a few just looking and coming back?
Dare and, if I'm not mistaken, Dare and Bone Carver are scouting ahead. So let me drop your tokens in the map just so we're already there.
I'll just try to act inconspicuous as I wait for the rest.
You fail.
Okay, so Dare and Bone Carver are here, and we'll pretend that Merrick and John are just off the map. Okay, so this warehouse stands at the back of an outer yard behind a high fence. The gate on the fence is there. It's actually not even locked. You see that it's left a little bit open, but you do see several entrances into the place, and those do appear to be closed. As to whether or not they're locked, you're uncertain. You'll have to check. You do notice above there is a higher floor to this warehouse, and it seems to be open, and you can see crates. But beyond that, it just looks like a regular warehouse to you, blocked off by a fence that doesn't appear to be locked.
How high up is the second floor?
It's a good question. I'd say about 15 feet, 15 foot climb you'd have to do.
Could I jump that high? Probably
No,
not.
I'm pretty sure you can't jump 15 feet.
Well, I don't need to jump the entire distance. I'm 6'8", arm length, and then... No, it's not gonna work.
Unless you have something to grab onto, or...
That's a really high floor. So I know I can touch the ceiling with my hands. Oh well. So this is the gate, or the fence?
Yeah, let me actually reveal that for you.
I'm guessing that this here is the gate. Can I, like peek through the fence?
I mean, you can see very clearly through it, but all you see are entryways.
It's like that kind of fence. Right.
You do notice that there is a window right here, but something is covering it. You think it's maybe painted.
How high is the fence?
Are you thinking about climbing it?
Did you say
Yes.
the gate was open?
It is open. It's ajar.
I gently push against the gate to see if it makes a lot of noise when you try and open it.
Doesn't really creak. Barely any noise. It's mostly drowned out by the background noise, the sound of the city.
Gently, slowly, quietly push it open. Just enough so I can squeeze through. Which is actually quite far open because I have a tail.
Okay.
Which of these lines are doors in the back of the...
Let me actually reveal that. So that's a door.
Mm-hmm. And the things right opposite the gate are windows.
So those are the doors.
Oh, that's also a door.
So this is a big door that you assume is meant for like transporting large amounts of supplies or cargo. This is a window, and this is another door. More of a main entrance.
So I can get through the gate without
Yeah, you're
anything
fine.
happening. Then I go over here and try to find any kind of creek or whatever to look through.
Roll perception.
Oh dear. Oh,
Oh wow.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Sweet.
With that roll, you find an ever so slight just crack in the wood that you peer through. It's actually closer to the door. Like there's this very small gap, but if you like move around, you can kind of get a more clear picture of the room. And you do definitely see some movement there. You do see some figures. You can't really get a good look at them, but you do see one of them. Let me see how much I can reveal. I revealed very little.
Oh, awesome, it's floor.
Let me see if I can reveal a little more. Creature's not even on the map,
Well, that's...
now that I think about it. You do notice that this is a short creature.
Is it Maverick or taller?
Wait, what?
Or short? Is it taller or shorter than the halfling we carry around?
It's definitely taller than Merrick.
Okay.
But not by much. You kind of do see some sort of protruding shape coming from the head area. You're not sure if it's a muzzle or a beak or something along those lines. You do see it scurry around, maybe sifting through things, you're not sure. But you can also, with that perception check, you can hear that it is not the only one.
Would I know what kind of creature this is?
You don't have a clear enough view of it. You just know that they're in there, and there's more than one.
And you said
Okay.
the window was blocked.
The window's painted. It looks painted.
Also gesture this towards the thiefling as good as I can.
You gesture them to
Yeah,
come?
the
Or like,
the
I'm just trying
charades.
to figure out, are you telling them to come over, or are you trying to describe what you see?
Just describe what I see.
Okay, so I guess you... I guess you're describing like something short and then something with a pointy face.
Well, I think the thing I'd really confirmed was that there are things moving around there.
Okay.
More than trying to describe exactly what you see, just more relative. There's stuff moving around, more than one.
Make a performance check to see if she understands you.
Oh. I think she does.
Yeah, she at the very least she knows that there are things in there. So what do you do with this information, Dare?
Can I call the other two over from this distance? Would I need to go back to them?
You'd have to go back to them. Like, they're technically not there. They're like probably on the other street or something waiting for you guys to come back.
In which case I will report back to them.
Okay. You walk away, hear plopping noises as you're stomping on the wet floor.
So there's definitely something in there. Bone Carver is keeping a watch. They haven't seen us yet.
Bone Carver, you notice that the creature has moved out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
But you notice that one of them kind of appears closer. You see kind of like what's left of a drawer in his hands, and he's just kind of emptying it of what's inside. And then it just goes away.
Did I get a view of what it was?
Roll.
7. It had to go down south someday.
It looked like a bird.
Helpful.
It looked like a big bird, but last you checked, the street was not called Sesame Street.
I don't think it was blue either.
Yellow in the US, right?
All right. Well, I'm probably just thinking about ways to cook it, really.
Oh my.
As if you cook it.
Well, you know.
Why cook it?
To keep up a front of civilization.
So, let's go back to the rest of the party. So, Dare just informed you that Bone Carver has indeed spotted something. What will you do now?
John will just ask Dare, so what should we do?
Well, I don't think we should leave him in there on his own. It seems safe enough to get up to the back door. Are you ready to follow me in?
Yeah, if we leave him too long,
I can
he'll just
try
go in
it.
and try and eat them.
At that, John kind of rushes forward.
Okay, so you should be free to move your tokens.
So I'm going to sneak through the gap.
Roll another stealth check, I suppose.
Okay.
Okay, so you, given
Ooh.
given the
Why?
gap, that's the rogue's curse.
Yes.
So, given the gap that Bone Carver already left there, it's pretty easy to just walk through. You don't appear to be making that much noise.
Oh, I did close the gate behind me, just in case they did manage to find it out.
Okay, so you open the gate, it just creaks very slightly. Bone Carver, you don't appear to see any of the creatures stir about with alarm or anything of the sort.
I do a thumbs up.
Okay, so what will you do next?
Would it be possible to go and peek through the door? Like the little door?
You can try. You're not sure if there's like any sort of peephole to look through, but you can check.
You might have a keyhole.
There is a keyhole.
See through it.
You're tall enough to see through it. If you
It's
want to
probably
see
at eye
through it,
level.
if you want to see through it, go ahead and roll perception. Okay, through this peephole, you're able to see quite a bit, but nothing of immediate relevance. Just mostly boxes and files and such just thrown about. There doesn't appear to be anything moving in your line of sight.
Does anyone want to go in ahead of me?
We should check the door to see whether it's locked or not to start with.
That's true. Okay, I'll try the door handle.
Okay.
Gently.
Okay. Roll. I mean, gently is not too hard, so we'll just say you do it gently. It's kind of firm. It definitely looks like it's locked. One of you could try to lockpick it if you have thieves' tools.
I do. I was just checking that.
Okay.
I hope you do.
John walks over and he just shows his biceps and he points at it and he just raises his shoulders like, question, should I break it open?
No, not yet.
Okay, so
He kind of disappointed.
I'm pushing these two out of the way to get closer. Shove it over.
So in the character sheet, go ahead and click on Thieves' Tools, and it's going to ask you which attribute or which stat you want to use to pick them with, and just select
Okay.
Dexterity.
Yeah.
Okay, so you hear a click. It appears that the door is unlocked. You'll have to actually...
Okay, I'll try and open it very quietly.
The door creaks open. I'll say roll another stealth check to see if anything notices you opening it. Okay.
Hey.
Wow.
It's more
So-
like it.
Natural 20.
So you're able to actually see quite a bit, and nothing really notices you. What you do see is that one of these creatures are standing by the stairs just picking at a box. If you like, you can roll nature to see if you know what this is.
Okay.
You've seen a few of these things around Waterdeep before. They're not super common, and you know that for the most part people are very mistrusting of them, and because of that they kind of end up in either thieves guilds or with thugs and the like. You know these creatures to be kenku. They are these small crow-like people that don't appear to have any ability to fly. They also appear to only repeat things that they have heard. As far as you can tell, you've never actually heard them talk with a voice that belonged to them.
Do we want to go inside? I mean, I can take a guess at what's going on here if anyone wants to hear it.
Tell. John doesn't know. For sure.
Well, we've been told that it's the Xanathar Guild that use monstrous guards like Kenku. So what are they doing here? This isn't supposed to be their hideout. I think they've got here before us to have a look around.
Actually, roll a perception check. Okay, so I'm gonna reveal a little bit more. You see at the very end here something that you're not entirely sure about. It's a vague shape, but you very clearly see that there is blood on the wall.
So they haven't just got here before us, they've slaughtered everyone inside before us.
That is a possibility.
Well, does anyone want to pick a fight with the Xanathar Guild? Just me then.
We've got your back.
Well, if you're going in, I'm going in, but...
So, how shall we do this?
I do want to mention to you guys a bit of a game mechanic. You can trigger a surprise round since they don't know you're there. Basically, you're just charging in and attacking, and you guys will get one free round to do whatever you want. So basically, each of you get one turn to do what you want, and they will not get a turn. And then once that round is over, we go to proper initiative order.
Okay, I think we should
So you
do
have that on your side. Okay, so let's start the surprise round then. Who wants to go first?
Send the big ones in first.
I'll go first.
I mean, are we going in? Because,
So just kick them.
Yeah.
Dad just kicks them in.
No,
Okay.
I gently open the door, draw a javelin, and throw it straight at the first Kanku's face.
Since he doesn't notice you're there, roll at advantage.
Okay.
Okay, that hits. Roll for damage. Okay, 7 piercing. You throw your javelin, and it impales the Kenku on the shoulder, and it releases a loud caw from its mouth, and you notice it glancing over at you, and it jumps. So, next in the surprise round.
Can I still move towards him? Like, as I'm throwing the spear?
You can. It's all the actions you can do in a turn.
Okay.
So
Then I'll tie him down right there.
Can I go next?
yes.
Okay. So John rushes in, draws his spear, and just stands next to Bone Carver and says, "You don't get to eat these." And
I just
I'll,
hiss.
I'll stab him with my
Okay, I'm going to be revealing more of the area since you guys are actually inside now.
that's a 16 as well,
Okay, roll for damage.
and that's 8.
Okay, you took him out with your spear, right?
Yes.
Okay, how do you kill this Kenku?
I'll make it quick. I'll stab him through the throat,
Okay, so you shove your spear through its throat.
and I'll pin it to the ground.
You see it sputtering and making gurgling noises as it tries to breathe, and then it just falls limp.
Once again, Bone Carver. No.
Such a waste.
Okay, so will that be the end of your turn?
Yes, Willie.
Who would like to go next? Would you like to go in stealthily because everything has been alerted of their presence?
I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference at this point.
Okay. By the way, Bone Carver used these two other
Okay.
Kenku right there. And you can also move past allies just as long as you don't end your turn on them.
What are all the little squares? Are they boxes?
There are boxes and tables and such.
And this is the stairs near the first Kenku?
Yeah, those are stairs.
Right,
They head
okay.
up.
I'm gonna go just past the corner. And
Okay. So there are 3 Kenku there.
okay, I'm going to hit this closest one with an arrow, or attempt to.
Go ahead and roll the attack. That hits. Roll for damage.
And sneak attack damage, right?
No, they
it's
know they're
basically
there.
from
No.
stealth.
I'm gonna say no for this one because you did just brutalize one of the Kenku there, and I'm pretty sure they're on alert right now.
Fair enough. Worth the shot.
Okay. Yeah, the arrow lodges to that Kenku's thigh. He seems very unhappy about that.
Well, I'm going to have to follow up with a fireball then. I'll come up about here.
Really good rolls. Roll for damage. Okay. Is it the same one or? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that nearest one.
Was not bad on the damage.
So you shoot the firebolt, and it just burns through his chest, and there's just this hole, this burned hole where his
I don't
insides
imagine that
used to
smells
be.
too good.
You hear Bone Carver just...
No.
Okay, I guess now we roll proper initiative. Top of the order, Merrick.
I'm enjoying these fireballs. Let's keep them coming.
Okay, go ahead and that hits. Who are you attacking?
The furthest one. The one at the back, furthest corner.
Take 6 points of fire damage. See the fireball go over its head. It burns off the feathers and part of his hood.
Okay.
Okay. Would you like to do anything else?
No, I'll stay there.
Okay.
So,
Bone Carver, you're up.
Where's a 5 feet?
Yeah.
I just cast a glass at John, then walk up to this Kenku and bite him.
Okay. Roll for bite.
Probably not.
Ooh. The Kenku swiftly dodges your bite, and it looks like it's trying to scramble backward. As it evades, when it looks at you, you hear like crocodile noises come out of it.
I look affronted.
Will that be your turn?
Do anything else? I'm fine then.
Okay. Next in the order, John.
I'll just rush past Bone Carver. Yell at him, how many times do I have to bloody tell you? No means no. And yeah, I'll try to just kill it and get it over with. 18.
Roll for damage.
That's 12.
Ooh. Your spear got it through the gut, and it's profusely bleeding through this wound, but it still appears to be barely standing.
Well, that was my turn.
Okay, you see this Kenku right here run up to its ally. He's going to grab him and try to drag him away. Okay, so all he'll be able to move is 5 feet away from you guys.
Would that trigger opportunity attack?
Not if the person being moved is being moved by external forces, I guess you can say.
Fair enough.
And while he's pulling him away, you hear in an old lady's voice one of the Kenku say, "Please have mercy, kind sir." And that's going to be that Kenku's turn. There, you're up.
Can I talk to the Kenku?
They can talk.
And
You can talk. You can choose to communicate with them if you want for your turn.
yeah, I'd like to do that. Do I need to move closer?
It might be better for that.
Okay. So we'll offer you mercy if you'll answer our questions.
Both of them look at each other and then they nod vigorously.
Bone Carver scowls.
You've already killed 2 of them.
The one that looks severely wounded says, "We will speak."
What are you doing in here?
One of the Kenku, the one that looks less damaged, they say in a deep voice with an orcish accent, "Xanathar sends its regards." And in the same Kenku changes the voice, and it's a thin nasally voice, and it says, "Tie up the pretty boy in the back room and follow the yellow signs in the sewers."
Bone Carver sets off to find a back room.
Okay, so I'm assuming you guys will not engage them further.
not for now.
Okay,
Keep an eye on them though.
so
Can
we
I get
are...
my javelin back?
Yeah, so let's assume you're all out of initiative. The 2 Kenku kind of continue to move further away, just to like, one's tending to the other's wounds, hoping that you don't come back for them.
I can't heal using just my medicine skill, can I?
Wait, what?
I can't heal using just my medicine skill, can I?
You can sort of. It depends on the circumstances, but I'd say for like this situation, you could probably make sure his injury isn't life-threatening in the long run.
Then I'll do that first.
Go ahead, roll medicine.
We'll
Can
be
I
too
use the
kind.
inspiration I got last time?
If the roll is bad, inspiration just re-rolls the roll.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to do that.
No.
Okay, so Hero gains, I'll say 3 HP.
And then I'll set off to find a back room.
And as you're walking away, one of the Kenku say, "May Bahamut bless you." So I guess it was around a church at some point. So roll perception.
Perhaps someone else should try to find it. 15.
Okay. Down here, you notice that like the only other area that hasn't really been easily scanned is this door back here. This area back here, which has a door. Let me reveal that.
Can I listen at the door for a bit?
You listen, and you do hear you hear ragged breathing coming from behind the.
I slowly open the door, if I can.
It's actually fairly easy. Upon moving it, you notice that the hinges are actually broken.
That'll work.
And you notice a man, maybe handsome by human standards. You're not really sure what the human standards of handsomeness are.
Nor does my character care.
He is a red-haired man. He freezes when he sees you.
Yeah, what is his reaction to a 6'8" lizard folk walking to that tiny little room?
He says, "Are you of Xanathar?"
No, I'm not allowed to eat them either.
he tilts
You're really
his head.
grumpy about that.
He tilts his head and he says, "Then what are you doing here?"
We were rescuing some guy who was with some guy. Names, I really don't get them. Were you abducted on the street with this weird shop with the purple things?
Yes, I was. You're here to save me and Floon?
Sounds familiar. Yes.
Who sent you?
I think he did writing.
Volo?
Yes, name sounds familiar.
Oh, fantastic. We just need to go find Floon, and then you see his gaze kind of grow dark a bit. I think they took him.
Of course.
I think they mistook Floon for me, and they took him somewhere else.
That's dumb.
Well, we gotta hurry. And he kind of walks past you a little bit uncomfortably since you're so massive.
I just stalk behind him.
Everyone, you see Raynar come into the room. So this is your group?
Yes.
Yes, my lord. I'm just wondering whether John should bow and get on one knee.
Wait, are all three of you here? No one's watching the Kenku anymore?
They're still there in the corner, just trying not to bring any attention. That you can kind of see them slowly shuffling towards the door.
I just stretch up and make sure they know that I'm watching them, holding the javelin.
And then they just kind of sit back down, kind of go to the corner.
I nod, but I keep watching.
Actually, make a perception check.
17.
Ooh, let's see what they roll. Ooh. So, let's keep talking. Okay, so Raynar walks out and he sees the entire party. And he says, "Thank you for the save. My name is Raynar. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?"
My name is John.
I'm Marek.
I'm Dare.
And if...
Bone carver in your town.
Thank you, Bone Carver. I do deeply appreciate all of you helping me. That was quite the misadventure I've had. I'm sorry, I'm at a bit of a loss. I just didn't expect anyone to come for me. So, Volo sent you?
Yes,
I
he
look
did.
at the others.
Yes, Bone Coffee, he did.
Excellent.
And I assume, and he looks around the room, and you guys, like, now that the fights kind of died down, you notice that there are bodies strewn about everywhere. A few of them are from the Xanathar Guild, but most of them look like they are from the Zentarim. It looks like the Kenku here were what's left of the attack on the Zentarim. I think time is a bit of the essence, but maybe getting a bit more details on where they could have taken Floon are in order. I did hear them walk about upper floor.
Then perhaps we should go check out the upper floor.
And
Is it-
see what's going on.
Is it
What's-
worth questioning the Kenku first, just in case there's anyone else up there?
When you say that, and you look back at the Kenku, they're gone.
Upstairs it is then.
I'll try and stealth upstairs. 25!
Nice.
So, you are a shadow in the night. You go to the second floor, and it is more of a balcony with the second floor. So you can go ahead and move your token over there.
On it.
So, mostly you see just equipment. There doesn't appear to be anyone.
Well, that's a waste of a good stealth roll.
You can see the streets overhead, since this is an uncovered warehouse area. Mostly boxes and supplies strewn about. Nothing that appears to be immediately necessary or useful to you, but you can search around regardless. You do see a room back here.
Oh, there.
Right here. The door is closed, however.
And I will sneak my way over and see if there's any, peepholes to peep through.
Doesn't appear to have a lock on it, so no peephole.
I'll stealthily open the door.
Okay. As the door creaks open, you see a rat just run out.
Can I attack the rat?
You can. Go ahead, roll an attack.
I will try and bite it.
I
I want to roll my inspiration on that.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, go for it. Actually, hold on. Before you roll it, let me look up the stats of a rat. Because for whatever reason, I thought that you would have left them alone, but then I realized you're in the party. Okay, yeah, that's a 6 does not hit the rat, so go ahead and re-roll if you want.
That's better.
That hits a rat.
For 3 damage.
That you have a mouthful of rat.
I swallow.
You have a belly full of rat.
Mm.
And as far as you're concerned, no one saw you eat the rat, so they can't call you out on it.
Depends. Is it still stuck between his teeth?
Maybe the tail is just there at the side of his mouth and he doesn't notice it. You walk into the room.
I cannot say this won't happen. Mm-hmm. Oh, I had an advantage with a stealth attack. Oh, well.
That's true. Oh, well. There appears to be another door that leads into a different room.
Which one is the door? To the north, to the west?
To the west.
Does this have a peephole?
No.
Then I can try and gently, stealthily, quietly open it.
Go ahead and roll another stealth check for this.
Oh, bugger. I just rolled nat 20, so I was going to roll a 1 or something like that. Total of 12. It's basically open.
Let's see. What's their perception? And it was a 12? Okay. You see 2 other rats. They appear to be chewing through some papers and such. Otherwise, they don't notice you.
Oh.
Well, then. Sneak up to the first rat. Because it's stealth. I will attack it.
Okay.
A bite.
Uh-huh.
It's 12 hit.
12 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
5 piercing damage.
You have another rat in your mouth.
Straight to the belly.
Freshly killed. The other one notices that you are a predator and it's going to try and run past you.
Does it invoke an attack of opportunity?
Yes. Go for it if you want.
Oh, I want. 13.
That hits. Another rat.
No witnesses. So how big are these rats? Just normal rats?
Not in that room.
Are these normal sized rats?
They're normal rats.
Snacks.
Yeah. They're morsels. They're not giant rats, they're just tiny rats.
Okay.
He's been gone a really long time. What's he doing up there?
Yeah, let's go back to the rest of the party.
I was sort of expecting him to shout an all clear or something, but I don't know.
You, actually, all 3 of you roll perception. John and Merrick, you could have sworn you heard the familiar noise of Bone Carver snapping his jaws shut.
If he's eating something again, I swear
So, what do you guys do with that information?
I'm going in.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm going to follow. So, need someone to look for something other than snacks.
I'm not going to shout, but I'm looking around to see if Bone Carver's around.
Okay.
So what else is in this room where I'm at?
I missed the first bit. What is this sort of layout? Is it like a walkway around?
This is the upstairs.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a balcony, sort of.
Yeah.
So
we can sort of we're looking down in this sort of area.
Since Merrick and John were looking around for things that weren't snacks, go ahead and roll an investigation. Oh, okay.
I'm not good at investigation.
So, Merrick, you find several stolen goods, or you're assuming that the Zentarum stole these goods. So you find 4 wood-framed paintings. Essentially, each painting is worth 75 gold pieces.
Wow.
And you can remove the frame to roll them up and keep them with you. And you also find... Holy shit, really? Okay. And you also find another crate. And this contains 15 10-pound silver trade bars, They are black from corrosion, but they're still worth 50 gold pieces each.
15?
50. 50.
15. Oh, still worth 15, yes.
So 50 gold times 15 is how much gold all that was worth.
50 pounds. 750 gold pieces.
You might need help from your party to carry all that.
Yes.
You-
Well, we need to carry as much as we can.
Otherwise, the immediate area where you're at doesn't appear to show anything of note. Going back to Bone Carver, there's 2 more doors.
Does either of them have something to look through?
These do appear to have locks for them.
No, I'd
Or,
like to look
not
through.
padlocks, but holes for locks. Okay.
Mm.
Roll perception. Are you looking
First
through
the
both?
door on the north, and one on the south.
It appears to be too dark to see much.
How big is the keyhole?
It looks like an average key.
Could a small piece of bone from, say, a rat go through?
Yeah.
And I cast light on a small piece of bone and push it through the keyhole.
Okay. So I'll say you see another rat inside.
On both doors?
Oh, you do it for both?
Mm-hmm.
You only see this much for the other one. And it's not much. Well, you do see a rat in one of them.
I just had 3. Is this door locked?
It is not.
And I gently push it open.
What you see is a rat, but it has something in its mouth. You see that it is chewing on what looks like to you a paper bird, like a folded up piece of paper that looks like a swan. And you notice that there's just this really unusual sheen about it. Like light reflects off it in a certain way. And as the rat is biting down on it, you see that the paper's not really taking any damage. But the rat looks at you and tries to run away with the paper bird in its mouth.
No! But it finally matters.
It will continue to run.
I just shout, "Kill that rat!"
Do you just want to snack on it again?
No!
It
Oh.
runs into the other room and sees John and kind of breaks immediately. And
Does that
notices
give
that
me
it,
enough time to run after it?
Can I grapple the rat?
Go for it. Roll an athletics check.
Okay, 16.
Okay, and the rat will have to contest that. I'll have to roll manually for these. Let's see. Okay, it's just a straight up d20.
We should roll a natural 20.
No, you have the rat in your hand. It's trying to squirm away.
Why? There's something in its mouth. Is this what you're after?
Yes.
I just take out the paper out of his mouth and just toss the rat away.
I dive after the rat and try to eat it.
Roll acrobatics.
Ooh. Not my... Oh, no. Ah!
I need to roll for the rat again. Natural 20. The rat, almost as if in midair, backflips off your nose and then dives towards the window and escapes.
Very miffed. I just turn around, waltz into this room, close the door behind me, and kill this rat.
Roll for an attack.
Try. Oh shit, now you roll. Doesn't 11 hit a rat?
That hits roll damage. That kills it.
I just tear it to pieces. And the door's closed, so John can't say anything.
Okay, I just follow Bone Carver and I knock on the door. I'm sorry, I thought you were after the paper. I showed it to you and I didn't know you wanted the rat.
Move!
Bone Carver, what's that?
You hear
So I'll come round the corner and say, for a big warehouse, this place seems to have very few rats.
You hear me swallow really loudly and I say, I wanted them both. At least we have the paper. And I go out of the door.
Yes, at least we have... What's that dangling from your mouth? There's something stuck between your teeth.
Never.
Okay, roll... I'm assuming Merrick sees the paper. John, roll history. Merrick, roll arcana. Okay. So
Wow.
John,
How come? Okay, yes.
John, you've actually seen these things before, but you never actually understood how they worked. You've just heard people call them paper birds, and they're a magical item that people send messages through. You've seen them around town, just flying around and landing in people's hands as a message. So you think if you write a message on this, you can send it to whoever you want, but you're not entirely sure how it works.
I think people use these things to write on. I don't know. I can't write anyway. So, Merrick, do you want this? Is there something on the bird?
There,
Can I have a look at it? Can I unfold it?
it's completely blank, but you do notice that the
Okay.
paper kind of has this certain feel to it. You kind of feel pinpricks against your hand, mostly because like your magic is reacting to it slightly.
Okay, well, that's probably all I know, is it?
For the moment, but you feel like you'll be able to learn the properties of it if you spend some time with it.
Okay, I'll hang on to it then.
Okay, so go ahead and add paper bird.
Bonecoff, do you want to take a look? You can do voodoo as well, right?
I just stare blankly at John. For
I
right
told
now,
you I was sorry.
I guess I could look at it.
Roll
Yeah, I'll show it to him.
Okay, roll
Roll
Arcana.
Arcana?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, so you know the properties of this. And you've actually probably seen these being sold at certain shops. You now know the properties of the paper bird.
I relay them.
Okay.
Is there, like, looking, he's where he's standing now and then looking at the balcony, he's like, what's under here?
So you're seeing the street.
So it's floating. Okay.
Kind of like an overhang in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, while you're looking outside the building, you notice a rather large crowd approaching.
Do they all wear, like, black or something?
Well, let's just pretend they show up on that revealed area over there. And let's just say that's the street. You see that it is none other than the city guard marching over straight towards the warehouse. Hello, this is Chase. You are listening to the Words and Wands D&D show. If you would like to listen to more, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much for listening.